That's something you can do the day before closing, honestly. I mean, I don't recommend it, but here's the thing. When you sign the purchase and sale contract, it always allows you to assign, at least in the commercial world. I know that in the residential world, sometimes the seller doesn't want to be, have you sell a contract to somebody else. Okay, that's fine, whatever. But in the commercial world, you are always going to assign that contract to another entity. The entity, you don't even create the buying entity until you know you're going to buy the property. Why bother? So you sign it as Charles Dobens LLC. You sign the purchase and sale agreement as Charles Dobens LLC and or assigns. There's a provision in the housekeeping paragraphs of every contract, of every purchase and sale contract, that says you get to assign this contract to another party. Sometimes they put requirements or restrictions into that assignment, saying that the assigned party has to have some affiliation with the current buyer. All right, fine. That's no big deal. And if it's a problem, you can easily overcome it. But you don't, once you know you're going to buy that property, then you create the entity. You you contact the Secretary of State's office, or even, okay, the first thing you're going to do is make sure that you can register that name at the Secretary of State's office. If you know what you're going to call it on day one, go ahead. In Massachusetts, it's $25 to register a name for 60 days. So go ahead and register the name. So that way you know what the name is going to be. But then you're going to go and once you get that name, then you're going to go to the irs.gov and get your tax ID number. And then once you get the tax ID number, then you're going to go back to the Secretary of State's office, register it on their site with the tax ID number from the IRS. All of that can be done within an hour. Okay, so setting up that entity is really no big deal. Now, if you're syndicating the deal, well, then you're going to have to get all this stuff done ahead of time, because the people who are giving you the money and are buying into this new LLC, they're going to need to have the operating agreement. They're going to need to have the subscription agreement. And all of those documents are going to need to have the entity name in it. So that helps you out if you go to the Secretary of State's office and register the name so nobody else can take it. Because the last thing you want to do is go through that whole rigmarole with the IRS. Come to find out, you can't even get the same name. You just wasted all that time. Now the IRS is going to be sending you notices, every God, I get them all the time on whatever entity it is that you registered with the IRS.